Tips with Tony. Tips with Tony. All about nutrition from your favorite dietitian. Everything you need to digest in your mind. Tips with Tony. Tips with Tony. Making you healthier one bite at a time. With Tony. Woo.
Hello and welcome to the Tips with Tony podcast. I'm Tony Marinucci, your registered dietitian, helping you get healthy one bite at a time. And today is a very special guest, like very special. It is my own friend and team member of Tips with Tony, Mary Rose. She is one of the registered dietitians on our team, and she has been an incredible asset. And I had the pleasure of knowing Mary Rose before. Maybe you've listened to a previous podcast where Mary Rose and Casey have been on, but I have decided to have Mary Rose on solo, and I'll have Casey on solo in a couple of weeks. But I really wanted you to get to know the dietitians on my team in a little bit more of an in-depth way, but also just like getting to know like who they are. And then we'll talk about nutrition and you'll learn some things. But that is the purpose of today. Mary Rose, I'm so excited to have you here. Welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thank you, Tony. I love being here. I love talking to you. I think your podcasts are so good and informative. And I'm always listening to them when I'm working out and listen to your wonderful, cheery voice. And you're always happy. And I love it.
Thank you. I'm excited to have you here. So the first question I always ask, I know you're already ready for it, is to introduce yourself by sharing who you are, what you do, and more importantly, why you do what you do.
I love that question. Who I am. I am Mary Rose Agel. I am a registered dietitian nutritionist, and I add that nutritionist on because I want to own that too. I love what I do. I started this. I had a career before, and when that career kind of ended, it was an interior decorating company. I just felt like I wasn't helping people. And I wanted to do something that intervened in people's lives and made their futures healthy, like really make an impact on people. So I decided to go back to school for a degree in nutrition. And I love what I do. Like I truly love what I do. And it's a passion of mine. And, you know, the greatest gifts are when my clients just, reach their health goals, whatever those goals are. You know, if you look at my Instagram, I have, I meet you where you are to get you where you want to go. And that's really my philosophy.
Yeah, it's the best philosophy. Honestly, Mary Rose, I'll never forget. I think it was maybe when you were on the podcast, but you said like, we meet you in the middle. And it's like, I've been doing that for years, but you put a word to it. And it just made me realize it's exactly what we do. We don't force people to change, right? We just meet them where they're at and we gently nudge them to where they say they want to go. But then, we all know human beings, we just get in our own way. So like, you're just a great way of meeting them where they're at. Listen, you're getting in your way. How do we get you back on track? Get you back to where you say you wanted to go.
Back in the right lane, get off the right exit. I'm a Jersey girl, so we do get off on exits. And that's what it's all about. And it's like a joy to do it.
I know that you're so passionate about your career. Have you always been that way? Like when did you first become passionate about this field?
I always had an interest in nutrition. I used to read lots of books about nutrition. And I remember reading Dr. Perricone, and it was really about skin health. And it was just amazing how he was talking about, and at that time it wasn't real popular, about inflammation in the body. That, it's not the cut that causes the inflammation. It was the inflammation that caused the cut. It was that type of mentality. And I really started reading everything about it. And I became so interested in nutrition and changed the way I was eating and started on that journey. I always worked out, but my eating, I needed to get it in check. So that really sparked the interest. So when it came down to, what do I do next? I was like, I want to go into nutrition. And when the nutritionist helped my dad, I probably told that story before, but, my dad was not doing well. And he said to me, I don't know what I can eat. And I went through all his medications. And I wasn't a dietitian at the time. I went through his medications and I called up Dad. I said, Dad, you can safely drink water. Okay.
Yeah, that's all. That's what it seemed like, but it's so true, right? When you have somebody who is uneducated about nutrition and doesn't have a degree, and it's just you're in a vulnerable place, right? If you're sick or your father's sick, and like you don't know what to do, you get a list of all these things. Well, because of this, you can't have this, and because of this, you can't have that, and because it's all what you can't do, you're left with what do you do? I don't know.
Exactly. I have no idea. It's like, I don't know, Dad. So I said, you need to go to a dietitian. I knew the value of a dietitian before I came one or was interested in being one. Mm-hmm. So I sent him to the dietitian. And unfortunately, I really wish I remembered her name because I would go back and say, you're fabulous. She made such a major impact on my father's life and changed a lot of things for him. And he was able to eat so much more than just drink water.
Yeah.
Made him happy.
Yeah, you obviously, that's amazing, right? You got the clarity and you also got to like breathe a little bit and feel kind of relaxed and knowing that there's many things that he was able to have. So,
exactly.
And I feel like that's what our clients feel, right? Like they come to us, they don't know what to eat. They don't know how much or when, or should they have that? Should they have that? They're just conflicted, overwhelmed. And then many people, I've heard this a bazillion times where someone will get on a discovery call and they'll say to me, it's like, I go to the fridge and like, I want this, but then I feel like I'm not allowed to have that. And then I want that. I'm not allowed to have that. And then one of two things happens. Either one, now they end up eating nothing. So they had no lunch or no snack, nothing. And now then, or two, at some point, eventually it's always two, it ends up becoming like a pantry raid, right? Because it's whether it's that day or the next week, it's just constantly like not sure what you can have. So you feel so limited. So you just either don't eat or you just say, screw it. And then you overeat. Yeah. So
it's that frustration. It's a frustration. Like, I don't know what to eat. So I'm just going to eat what makes me happy and call it a day.
Yeah. Yeah. Which we know isn't what really makes them happy because it's just vicious. It's a vicious cycle. It's a vicious cycle. We've both been there. So we understand. So if you're listening, we get you. We got you. Absolutely. But at the same time, you don't have to stay there. So we can help you out of it.
Yeah. We love doing that.
That we do. We absolutely do. So I'm curious because you had one career, right? And now you have a completely different career. But you've been a dietitian how long now? Has it been over 10 years, right?
It's been over 10 years, yeah.
It's amazing. So you really are an expert, guys. Like this, Mary Rose is an expert because technically I think they say 10 years or more, you're a master of your craft, right? And then in the dietetics field, we do consider before under 3 years is kind of introductory. 3 to 5, I think, is what they give it. They have a specific terminology.
They do have it, and I should know it, but I don't.
But I think it's like after 5 or 7, you're like literally considered an expert because you probably have seen it all, or you've had enough experience either in one area or multiple areas to really, gain a lot of knowledge and wisdom, right? So all that to say, you've been in the field a really long time. So I have actually a lot of questions. But the first question I would say is like throughout your either the change in your career or just being a dietitian for over 10 years, like what have been some of the most important lessons you've learned through either the transitions or currently or just being as a dietitian?
I one of the things that I definitely learned was how to listen to people. People want to be heard. Okay. They want to be heard. They love telling their story. And I love hearing their story. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, they're just talking on and on. It's not like that ever. I love to hear what they have to say. There was an old show that was way before my time about the Naked City has 1,000 stories. And there's 1,000 stories out there times 10 times 1,000. There's so many stories. Everybody comes to nutrition from a real personal place.
Yeah.
It's a very personal thing. And so over the years, I really made a point of honing my listening skills. Okay. And listening to people. And then you get to know the nuances and when they're happy, when they're frustrated, and you work through that, and you understand that. I always tell them, listen, nutrition and doing this is a head game. This is all in your head.
Yes.
It's a head game. So over the years, I really honed my counseling skills. That's what I did. I made sure that I knew the medical nutrition therapy, but that counseling piece and that listening piece, I think is clutch.
It is 100%. It's why you're able to help elicit behavior change. Yes. Like You know what I mean? You are like, guys, Mary Rose really is, she's an incredible listener, like incredible. So, and it's genuine. It's genuine. Like that's honestly the feedback I get from all the clients in the program. It's just how understanding you are, encouraging you are, attentive you are, you know, and it all comes down from you not just hearing, but listening. Those are two very different things, right? And you can read, because we have video calls in the program, like we've had conversations, like you can read body language as well. So someone might be saying something, but you're listening by watching their body language and you understand there's a disconnect here. You're saying you want to change, but your actions aren't really following through, or just kind of even the way in which you're saying it, like something's there, and you'll dig, like you'll be like, what's going on? Like you're going to call someone out gently. But one thing I love about Mary Rose is like, she also will tell you how it is. She's not going to sugarcoat stuff, you know, like she's going to be like, listen, you know, in a gentle way, because we're always gentle, but she's always going to kind of show you, you know, both sides and help you just kind of see, you know, what could happen if we just shift you this way?
You know, what's the best outcome? You know, what's the best thing for you? And I agree. It's listening is tremendous. And you know, it was one time I had to do counseling over the phone. And I realized like it put me at such a deficit because I'm mano a mano, and I love seeing your face. And you're so right. Like I could see when the brows start to frown a bit and whatnot, and the frustration does show up on your face. So I was like at a complete deficit, going, oh my gosh, I can't see their face. Like I can't see them, and I don't really. It's not my favorite way at all. I love video. If video's the next best thing. Yeah, compares it. Yeah, if we can't do it in person. I actually love video the most in the sense that because of the fact that we don't have travel to take into account. Like so many people are so busy, right? They have to drive from here to there, you know, if the weather's not good. And we know that consistency of like follow-up of care, that's really what helps yield behavior change, because we just need to be reminded and guided and supported. So the more touch points you have with a dietitian, the quicker and faster and more sustainable your outcomes are going to be, right? So the reason why I love video calls is for that reason, because it's so cool, right? That you can meet someone we're in your state, and then you can talk to someone in another state, and it could be raining where you are or snowing where they are, but it doesn't matter because they can still pop on the video call, and doesn't get in the way of them, you know, having an appointment, which is cool. It's so convenient. It's just perfectly convenient, and it's just so much fun talking to people from different states, and it's just fun. It really is. You know, you just get a different perspective, you know, or they'll go outside and just gorgeous, warm, sunny day. Freezing, going, excuse me. Yeah, every time I talk to someone on the West Coast, I'm like, why do I live on the East Coast? Like, it's like, why? I know, why do I do this to myself? Especially now we're entering the winter months. It's like, ugh. I know. I could be a snowbird, sort of, I think. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm working towards, Mary Rose. I always knew you were so smart, Tony. I'm not waiting till I have to retire to become a snowbird. Like, I'm working on it now. Like, by 32, I'm going to have a place in both locations. I love that. Oh, God, I'll come visit you. Yeah, please do. Please do. So I want to just quick recap of the listening component, because I think it's so important. The other thing why I think it's so important is because you're not even just a great listener, but because you listen, you're also great at explaining things. And like you said, I know that you are, in a complimentary way, a nerd when it comes to nutrition and like the science of nutrition, medical nutrition therapy. Like, so you love the terminology and the big words and the research and the science, but then you explain it in a way that's so not overcomplicated. And I think it's because you're able to listen and really communicate that. And like you said, you honed it on your counseling skills, which is so important. So the reason why I'm saying that is because I do want to transition into kind of what's lighting you up right now in regards to like nutrition and research, and you know, what are you, because I know you get passionate about many things, so I'm curious, what are you researching right now? Like, what is really making your mind go like amazing? And then we'll think about a way to translate it to our listeners. Okay, so right now I'm doing a certification in metabolic health, and especially for women. So it's dealing with women from premenstrual, menstrual, perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. Women go through, men go through transitions too, but not like women. And it affects us systemically. So I've been really researching that a lot lately, and it's funny. I was so into it and reading it that I had a hot flash. I was just like, what is the matter with you?
Wait, was that your first one?
No, I always had them during my periods, like occasionally I would get them, but I'm not a big.
I'm not going to do any TMI. It's your life, your body, whatever what you want to talk about. But I'm just, I don't know if you're even what stage you're in and all that.
That's something I experience on the reg.
That's a normal thing for you.
It's just not.
Okay.
I was so into it, and I'm going, okay, I need to take a break from this studying, but it's just so much good information that I will eventually absorb and then be able to regurgitate it. And that's gross, but you know what I mean? But be able to really use that information to make my clients feel better and get into a better place. So knowing that, it's down to the science, when estrogen pops in and estrogen wanes and progesterone comes up and the luteal phase and all of that, and how a woman goes through her cycle and how she feels, and that carb craving that happens. And then once you get your period, bam, it disappears. So, dealing with that and learning all the tiny details and being able to translate that into helping clients and helping clients understand their body better and not beat themselves up so much. We deal with hormones that are flying.
Exactly.
And sometimes it's not just willpower. And I
rarely ever willpower.
It's just sometimes not, because hormones have a very profound effect on us, and they do drive us. And there's there's ghrelin, which makes you hungry. And I always think of ghrelin as the gremlin, because, ghrelin, the gremlin makes you want to eat me, feed me, feed me, feed me. So, things like that, we're fighting. And I think a lot of in nutrition land, out there, there's so many people who have their hands in the pot and giving out information and not having the background. They're saying, exercise more. And I still see that mantra, exercise more, eat less, you'll lose weight. And for some people that does work, but for most people it doesn't. And then the guilt comes on. Well, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, but I'm not losing weight. Oh, I'm not losing 5 pounds a week. I'm only losing 1 pound every 2 weeks, but you're going in the right direction. So it's a lot of encouragement. But I'm going to take this information and then just really enrich my clients with that information to help them through those spots that women have to deal with. But we also touch on men too. But
I totally. And I would say that it's particularly, you're right, especially during perimenopause and menopause and even postmenopausal, it's part of the aging process. And I think a lot of women struggle with just aging in general, just from the society we live in. And we did a podcast about this before, right? Just aging in general. But then hormonally, everything's changing. It's very uncomfortable, right? And then your metabolism changes as a result of that. Your body composition changes as a result of that. And it's just a lot at one time. So the fact that you're choosing to educate yourself in a deeper way, more than what we just normally get in just, our training, but kind of going further with that, it's really, the deeper you go with it, the more you're going to be able to understand it. And the more you're really going to be able to resonate with a lot of the clients when they share things and explain it. Cause I think the other thing is where a lot of people struggle with follow through is not understanding the why behind the suggestion, so you might encourage someone to do more strength training per se during, that time, or eat more complex carbs to help with those cravings or whatever it is. But if you don't, but maybe some people I know, they need to hear why. They want to know, the why behind it. And so for you to be able to explain that to them, and just let them know that this is a normal process, it's going to happen at the same time. We can work with it rather than work against it.
Right.
So that you can understand that although you might not get there as quickly as maybe you have had in the past, you will get there.
Yes.
If you just stay the course, stay consistent, and work with your body instead of working against your body.
Exactly. And the body, you need to trust your body. Your body knows what it needs. And when it needs rest, it needs rest. And when it needs to work out, it needs to work out.
Yeah.
And your body's going to tell you if you're hungry and you're full. I mean, we go through that all the time, your satiety clues. Your body's telling you what it needs. We just have overridden that. Toddlers
we have
know.
to get back in touch. Yeah.
So a toddler knows, I need to eat today, so I'll eat all day. And then the next day won't eat a thing. And mama gets nervous and it's like, no, he's fine.
Yeah.
Just he knows he's regulating his body. He's eating for his needs and not above or beyond.
I love it. Awesome. All right. So I kind of want to ask some more like fun questions now that we kind of bombarded people with science. Let's do some fun questions. What's your favorite? Because also too, I feel like people love to want like people, not that we're saying eat what we eat, but people want to know what dietitians eat. So what is your favorite go-to order at your favorite hometown restaurant?
It's going to sound obnoxious, but I love salmon. I really love salmon. So I always get some carb with it, whether it's rice or potatoes, whatever. And I really do follow the My Plate. I always do like veggies, but I love salmon. Salmon, I've eaten it in every possible way. Or I was actually out on Saturday and had a delicious cod. So I do like fish. And I won't eat that out because I do make it for myself. But it's one of those things that when you're out, just tastes so good. It tastes
so much better. Why do they make it taste better? How do they make it taste better?
Their sauces are amazing.
I don't know. But even when you get like a salad out, it always tastes better out than when you make it yourself.
I know.
Why is that?
I can't duplicate stuff like that.
I can't. Yeah, no, I'm big. Like whenever I go out to eat, I get fish a lot because I'm not the best at making it. That's why. I'm good at getting like the seasoned ones that are like the frozen seasoned ones and throwing them in the oven. I'm good at those. That's all I got.
I know. When I was at the grocery store, I used to teach people how to make fish. I think there was such like this mystique around how to make fish, and it's really, really simple. But I think that, people get a little intimidated about buying it and what's the right type and, things like that. But just, it's simple.
Yeah, no, definitely. The more you do something, the easier it gets, and it's not as intimidating as it sounds. So yeah, exactly. I encourage you guys, if you haven't tried making some fish recently, try it.
Get a thermometer, get a cooking thermometer, like a meat thermometer, and that'll just take the mystery out of everything for you, because you'll just look up the temperatures, and this way
when it's done. What's the fish doneness? What is it? 135,
145,
135, 145 probably. 145. Yeah, out of the temperature danger zone of 140. Yeah, no, that's awesome. So, I'm not letting you go yet. I have a couple other questions.
Go ahead.
I'm going to ask one on the spot. I don't think you knew I was going to ask, but I'm curious. How has your experience been working for Tips with Tony? And you don't have to say this because you're on my podcast. Like, genuinely, like I'm curious, maybe like a client story without using names, or just like in general, transitioning from where you used to work for like a big corporation or like in person to now doing virtual. Like, I'm curious.
Okay. So I guess we'll start off with the head of a company is what makes the company. Okay. That's the person has to have vision and energy and know where they're going and where they want to be. And to me, that's always important. I want to know. Tony delivers on that. Tony has a vision. And I always say this when I worked with Tony in our previous life. I always thought you're just way too big for where we work. You are just meant for bigger things. And I'm just not blowing smoke up your butt. That's not what I do.
I mean, it's like a part of me is like, keep going. I love it. The other part's like, people probably think I'm paying you right now.
Yeah, and she's listen.
I am paying you. you extra.
No, she's not doing, this is from my heart. And I'm not a good liar. So I couldn't do that. I maybe for a real lot of money, but not for a little bit of money. I couldn't do it. But Tony had a vision. And even when I've gone on interviews, I always ask them, well, what's your vision? Like I have this thing that I need to know that you're looking to the future and you want to expand and you're resilient and you want to change and see what's out there. And that's what you deliver. So to me, if the head of the company doesn't have that, doesn't have the energy and is not like responsive and managing down and managing up, then we're going nowhere. But Tony starts out like, this is Tony. Tony is what you see is what you get. She's genuine. She's full of energy. She's positive. She's beautiful. Okay. Let's get that out of the way. I just love looking at her. She's beautiful. Aww. So Tony,
I feel the same way about you, by the way. I've always had a girl crush on Sorry.
Thank you. I'll take it. I'm running with it. Thank you. Thank you very much. And ladies, always take a compliment.
Yes.
And run with it.
Yes.
You deserve it. Thank you so much. Yes, we're throwing out verbal bouquets here. Yeah. And rightfully so. That's how women should treat women. But as far as like the clients, I love working with the clients. I'll always send Tony like, look what she said. She did this. She did that. She, made a breakthrough. She's getting it. She's connecting it. She's making it happen. And I always say that. I love that. Like, that's why I do what I do. They'll just go, I was talking to myself. I was mindful of what I was eating. I was moving more. I realized I didn't need as much food. I'm not going to drink that drink because I really don't love it. So what am I doing? And all of these little nuances, these little wins are so important. And I'm always sharing them with Tony. Go, look what she said, or look what they did.
No, I love when you share with me because I miss it. I'm not going to lie. I miss it. I miss coaching. Like I thought I'd be okay, but like I'm having a hard time.
I don't blame you.
I appreciate when you share with me all of the wins and the successes because those were the boosts that I needed throughout the day. Like I needed throughout the week, and just to know that your work is making impact on someone in such a big way. It's such a special thing. Like to have that be your job. It's so cool.
And it is. And I love when I hear feedback about, how I'm making a difference in their life, because that's just important. Their success is important. And that I'm helping them in the right way is important to me. I wouldn't want to take someone down a path that they don't want to go, or not being the best, what's the word I'm looking for? Like encourager, or, a coach, a standby. Somebody they can rely on. That's who I want to be. I want that feedback that's positive, because if I need to change, I need to know. I have no fear of being critiqued. If it's done in the right way, I want to know, okay, I could change my way. But I hope that my clients feel open enough and that they do that, that they're willing. But I love it. I love when they tell me these great things, these stories. That's what motivates me. Like, what's my motivator? It's their motivation, their successes. Even when they feel like, I didn't do well last week, I overate or whatever it was, but they faced a new stress that they never faced during the program before. So it was like, it's okay. You never faced this. It's never a negative. Like, we can pull positive out of every situation.
You definitely do that. Like, Mary Rose's will be your biggest cheerleader. Honestly, that's literally the feedback I get. The word cheerleader comes up a lot in multiple clients. Like so whenever there's like a word that pops out, I always pay attention to that. So that's for sure. But I love what you mentioned about very often, and this is not I don't know. I don't even say it's a coincidence. I feel like it happens on purpose, where someone will join the program and then stress will happen to them in a way that they never expected. Unfortunately, they might lose someone. They might have a job shift. Someone gets sick in the family. They get sick, something like that. And I always tell them it's actually a beautiful thing that this happened now, because a true healthy lifestyle is one that can be navigated in all situations. So if you only did the program when things were perfect, that's not a real depiction of life. Right? A true lifestyle has ups and downs. So the fact that they have the support during a tough time, and then you're able to help them to see that this is actually something you can get through. We have to shift, but you can get through it. Yes. I think that's how they end up growing and feeling empowered and just like realizing, oh, wow, that's what makes this program so different.
Yes.
It's possible to do in all seasons of life.
Yes. And being resilient, like we teach them, like, it's okay. There's no failure. It's just okay. Like, you didn't do it. Oh, well, next time, kick the all or nothing to the curb and just, learn to be resilient. Life has valleys and we're going to go through them, but we also have the mountaintop where we're just, and then you appreciate them more. If it was all mountaintops and no valleys, you wouldn't appreciate it. The good times as much, and you need that balance. Life is balance, balanced plate, balanced career, balanced family,
balance emotions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. And just learning to trust yourselves, because I think the society makes you not trust. No, you need this, you need that, you need me. No, they need themselves. They just need somebody to stand there and go, you got this.
100%. Yes. 100%. I love this. This is so good. Anything else you want to share, Mary Rose, that we didn't talk about today?
Anything else I want to share? It was so funny because I was thinking of, I don't know, it's Christmas time, and what's my favorite movie is Buddy the Elf.
Okay. I love Buddy the Elf.
Love that movie. Yeah. Like, it just makes me hysterical. And I always thought it was funny when he picked up the phone and he goes, Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite color? They answer the phone like that all the time. Mary Rose, the dietitian, what's your favorite color?
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
I almost wore a blue shirt. I should have changed. Maybe I'll wear one tonight for the live.
And I don't wear a lot of blue, but blue is very calming. And it reminds me of being outside, like the blue sky. Like, people go for the green, but it's the blue sky that always resonated with me. So if you come to my house, you will see something of blue in every room. Like, I don't have like a blue house, but, and that's like my other thing. I love interior decorating. So yeah,
I need you to do my apartment.
Yeah, I got it, but I'll be
I'm like, no, I don't. I have nothing on my walls. I've been here for 5 months. There's literally nothing on the walls. I have not put one thing up. One, because I don't really know how, / I don't want to, I can probably know how, like, I don't even know where the hammer is. Okay. I have to again, I got to get nails. It's just the thing that I don't care about. I'm like not interested in. So therefore, like, it's not that I can't do it, but I'm just not trying to figure it out. Like,
and that's fine.
Just do it.
Like a commitment.
It's like, I'm not
committing.
Yeah. Not.
And that's perfectly. And guess what, Tony? That's okay.
Thank you. Okay. Oh my God. Anyways, Mary Rose, you're amazing. I'm so glad that you're here today. I'm so glad that you're part of the Tips with Tony team. Our clients are so lucky to have you. You guys, if you enjoyed this episode, if you loved what Mary Rose had to say, if you loved what we had to say as a collective, if you've been thinking about joining the 6 months of food freedom program or applying, let's say, definitely go to tipswithtony.com/coaching. We have a new website, new video. It's all beautiful. It's so explains so much about what the program is about. You get to learn more about Mary Rose. You can also learn more about our other dietitian, Casey. And just, I would say, if anything in this episode resonated with you, or when you go to the website, tipswithtony.com/coaching, and you watch the video, or anything on that page stands out to you and you feel like, oh God, that's exactly what I need right now, do not wait. Do not wait. Get your application in. Let us be the one to determine what your needs are. And that's what we'll do. I'll hop on a call with you on your discovery call. We'll go over everything that you need. I'll explain more about the program and how it would or wouldn't be beneficial to you. I'm very honest on those calls. I would not have you enrolled in something that I didn't think was a good fit. So just doesn't hurt to just fill out the application. That's the very first step you need. We'll get on a call, and that's all you need to do. Just one step at a time, right? Helping you get healthy one bite at a time. It's one little step at a time. So go to tipswithtony.com/coaching, fill out that application. Mary Rose, thank you so much for being here. Let everybody know, where can they find you, connect with you, follow up with you, message you, all the things.
Okay. So first of all, thank you for inviting me on the podcast. I have so much fun and I love talking to you. So any excuse to talk to you, I'm in. Anyway, yes, you can find me. I'm on Instagram at Mary Rose and Thyme, Thyme. I'm also on Pinterest, Mary Rose and Thyme too. So you can find me there. I'm always posting something of interest. It's nutrition or some photograph or, just fun. So please comment, let me know, that you're following and just, join our program. We would love to talk to you and be part of your life. We really would. This is a passion for us and we have fun doing it. And we just want to make you happy and go where you want to be.
Yeah. 100%. Couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you so much, Mary Rose. Thank you guys for listening. As always, I'm Tony Marinucci, your registered dietitian, helping you get healthy one bite at a time.